Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. So, a little bit of an update, I guess, if you will. I'm gonna probably be late for Riverdale again because I have a family thing to attend to. So I'm sorry for that, but you know, family comes before television series is Series I. Sorry. Anyway, on a less personal note, but still sort of personal, I got this, and I'm gonna try to fix it because it's been like 2 months since I made this, and I just realized there's a B there, and there's not supposed to be a B there. So we're gonna try to cover it up. So yeah, wish me luck for that. Also, if my voice sounds funny, I'm having it's fall, so yeah, there you go. Fall allergies voice. If I was a voice actor like I wanted to be, then this would not be good for business. Also, like more like on a cosplay note, I guess, if you will, I ordered some Scott Pilgrim related items. It's kind of funny actually how things work out, because let's see. Okay, anyway, well, I tried to order this beanie that Scott wears, the beanie or whatever, and that you cannot find anywhere, so I just ordered a blue and black beanie, or blue and brown beanie, sort of like, it's all one color, it doesn't have any stripes to it, but it's like, the colors are in there, I guess, so I ordered that, and that you can't find anywhere. But, the red hat that he wears, the red hat with like the bill sort of and the ear cozy muff things, that I found on Amazon. So I'm like, you'd think the weird looking hat you couldn't find, but the beanie that looks super normal and you can find on Target, you can't find. That's weird. Anyway, I also ordered the last 2 books, so be expecting reviews of those. I still haven't finished Watchmen like I said I was going to. But I'm going to finish that sometime, because otherwise my English teacher will be very disappointed in me. But, yeah, I'm going to finish it sometime. It'll be Watchmen. He'll get a review for it. He'll be like, hey, he finished it. But I ordered the last 2 volumes of these, so I just need 5 and 6, and those are ordered, and they'll be coming sometime this week. I think maybe next week. Like Monday next week, or maybe Saturday. Anyway, on to the review. It's been 3 minutes already, and you've just wasted like 3 minutes of your time. So, this one, there's a lot of good, quotes and stuff in it. So anyway. Oh, and also, another side note. I know I'm just wasting like 4 minutes of your time, but there's a Beatles poster back there, so I got my first Beatles poster, even though it's not nerd related. I'm still pretty happy about it. Okay, so, on to the actual review. There's a little bit of a weird thing here with Ramona and Scott. It's like, Ramona, shh, don't you just wish this moment could last forever? Ramona, I lush, let's make out. Show me how. So there's that. I don't know what's up with that. It's like a little funny comic thing. And then you get Sonic the Hedgehog reference, which I like. And they're on the beach because it's like summertime in Toronto, Canada. And Scott gets pelted in the face with the ball. And there's a little funny joke, sort of. It's like Knives Chow. Still 17 years old. So they go to the beach and they hang out for a little bit. And then Scott is eating a burger. And there's a nice little thing I have on here. that I put on my poster I made, which is back there that you can't see, but it's a Scott Pilgrim poster anyway. But it's like, Scott, I think you're the nicest guy I've ever dated. He's like, that's kind of sad. So it's got a lot of good quotes in here. And then he's like, do you want some of my burger? And she's like, no, I'm a vegetarian. And then she's like, but I saw you eat chicken shawarma like 2 hours ago. And Ramona's like, whatever, I'm not hungry. So yeah, they they hang out by a campfire, and then Knives has some beer, even though she's 17, and Julie's like, what, she shouldn't be drinking beer, what the heck's going on? And then they're hanging out at the house, and they're all drunk and crazy, except for Scott, of course. So then Scott goes to check on Knives and Kim, and they're making out in Kim's room, or whoever's room that is. So then Wallace and Scott go grocery shopping, and yeah, they hang out. And then, there's the L word thing where Wallace is like, have you said the L word yet? And Scott's like, the L word, you mean lesbians? He's like, no, the other L word. And it's like, okay, it's love, I wasn't trying to trick you or anything, that whole bit from the movie. And then we have Kim Pine is having a moving day, which is referenced in Volume 3 in the color edition, because they got like everything in the color edition. So yeah, it's like a little comic, and it's like Kim like hates her living situation, so it's a mini comic where she moves. I've probably mentioned it before, maybe I didn't, I forget. But yeah. So yeah, Scott and everybody, Steven, they help Kim move, and then Steven finds out that Kim's roommate or whatever has like a recording studio. So Steven's like, dude, we have a band, let's record an album or whatever. So then Ramona's apartment, and Scott and her are eating food, and then yeah, we have like a little bit where Ramona's like, why do you love me anyway? And then Scott's like, well, you're mysterious, and you're nice, and you're hot. I mean, being hot's not everything, but it's a big part of it. Like, you're mysterious, and she's like, I'm mysterious. Oh, like, we've been dating for 4 months, and the best you can come up with is mysterious. You shouldn't know me a bit better by now? And then, there's that little bit. And then we go back to Scott's house, and there's a heat wave thing, a heat wave warning in effect. So he goes to the mall, and he meets Lisa, the girl from Volume 2 who he had unreciprocated feelings for. Which kind of made up for Volume 2, but again, it's like a movie. A volume should only stand on it by itself. So it makes it somewhat better, but it's like, if you read it, if you read just Volume 2, you're going to be kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, Lisa comes back, and yeah, they eat food, and they sort of talk, and Lisa's like, yo, I definitely want to date this guy. I want this guy, like, in my pants. She, just like the way she looks at Scott Pilgrim. We'll get some light in here. Yeah, so the way she, looks at Scott, it's like, dude, I want Scott's everything. So there's that. Sorry, everything sucks. From my camera. So then we go back to Scott Pilgrim, and he's playing video games. And Wallace comes home, and he's like, didn't I tell you to leave the house? And he's like, no, I did. I went to the mall. You just came back at the wrong time, whatever. And he's drinking water, and Scott's like, no, Wallace, I want some water. Which is kind of funny, I think. That's why I feel relatable to Scott Pilgrim, because he's lazy idiot. And he plays video games and stuff. It's like me. I'm like Scott Pilgrim. Except I got glasses. Bam. I'm Scott Pilgrim. Did I make a good Scott Pilgrim? I think I do. Anyway, enough of my self-aggrandizement. We go back to the Chow residence, and Knives broke up with Neil again, and yeah, We have Tamara is like, why do you still have Scott if you cut out his face on your shrine? Which is kind of funny, because she's like a whole shrine dedicated to like Sex Bomb and Scott Pilgrim. And she's like, what? And then she's like, oh my god, there's a giant X on Scott Pilgrim's face. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, there's a giant X on his face, as you can see right there. Hopefully you saw that. I don't know, my camera, everything sucks. So you're like, what's going on with that? That's weird. So then Lisa and Scott are hanging out, and they go over to Kim's place. And then Neil's there, and Neil's kind of like, just go away. Like, leave. Or maybe it's Neil's place. Yeah. They go over to, yeah, it's Neil's place, because he owns the house. Yeah, okay. So they go over to Neil's place, and Neil's there, and Neil's like, go away, you idiot. You people suck. So then they go over to Kim's house, and Kim and Steven's there, and he's recording the album. Sorry, I suck at recording videos. So yeah, Steven's recording an album, or the album, or whatever. So then they go over to Sneaky D's, and then it's a Mexican restaurant, and they all eat food, and then Ramona pops up, and then Scott's like, oh hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh, oh no. So then Scott and Ramona and Lisa meet, even though I said Scott doesn't meet Lisa. So Ramona and Lisa meet, and then Ramona and Scott leave, and then Scott's like, yo, Ramona, have you ever kissed a girl? And she's like, yeah. And then there's like a weird thing where it's like shivering with delight. And then Ramona's like, man, you're such a dork. You're such a dork. And then we go to Scott, and he has a dream. And, yeah. So he's having one of those video game dreams, which is probably one of my favorite parts about Scott Pilgrim, is he, like, dreams about being in video games. And then Ramona pops up, and she's like, dude, you're stupid. And he's like, leave me alone, I'm having a dream. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this video is gonna definitely suck. So, Wallace calls Scott in his sleep, and he wakes up, and he's like, what's going on? And he's like, hey, we need to go see our landlord tomorrow, because we're gonna get kicked out. Scott's like, that sucks. And then Wallace is like, hey, shut up, do it anyway. And then he leaves the house, and then Knives is stalking him. And he goes and looks for a job. He goes to the Second Cup and asks his sister. And she's like, you suck, kill yourself. Not really, but he's like, leave. And then goes to Kim at the one place no account video. And then Kim's like, no, you suck, get out of here. And then he goes to the Happy Avocado where Steven works. And Steven's like, fine, whatever. And then he gets a job. And then Kim and Scott are leaving. And then Knives' dad, who we don't know is Knives' dad, attacks them. And they go into a subspace highway like, Ramona has. And then they just part ways. And then Scott goes back home. And then Wallace is like, yo, Scott, you want a drink? Because he's having a big party with his friends. And Scott's like, no, I'm good. And then Wallace's friends are like, is that a moral high ground thing? And then Wallace is like, no, he's just a pussy. And Scott gets called a pussy a lot in this whole volume. Sorry for my language, but it's just the matter of life. It's fact. So, sorry, I guess. I don't know what you want me to do. So then Ramona and Scott are walking. And then Ramona's like, yo, why are you wearing these sweatbands? And Scott's like, they keep me cool. And then she's like, well, take them off because they're stupid. And he takes them off. Like, oh, okay, that's better, I guess. So, then you see the band, Sex Bomb, is packing their stuff up, sort of to go to Kim's. Because, they're going to record an album out of everything, so. And they go over and start recording for a little bit, and they go to Sneaky D's again. And then Ramona's like, "Are we gonna Are we gonna be coming here every night?" And then Julie's like, "Just everyone hang us out here, Ramona. It's not unusual because Julie sucks." And then, yeah, and then Ramona joins Lisa for a smoke. And they keep talking for a little bit. And then Ramona and Scott go back to Scott's house, or apartment, or whatever. And then Wallace is passed out drunk. And yeah, Wallace and Scott go talk to the landlord. Scott has his first day of work, and then he gets attacked by Roxanne and Richter. For the first time, like in the movie, where she's all like sneaky and stuff, and he punches her in the boot. And then he tries to call Ramona, but then it doesn't work, so he's like, "Damn it." And then he sort of keeps calling her like multiple times to tell her, just to talk to her basically, but it doesn't work. So then Scott and Lisa have a little bit of a conversation, and then Lisa pretends to be drunk, sort of, but she's like, maybe we should like have a thing, because we never had a thing back in high school. And then Scott's like, "I think you're drunk," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And then Wallace and Scott are talking about moving out. Scott goes back to work, and then he sees Ramona and Roxanne talking, and then we start a big whole fight thing. Unlike the movie, where Ramona pulls out her giant hammer, this time she pulls out a baseball bat, and she fights Roxanne. And of course what happens? She wins? She better win, yeah. Roxanne just sort of leaves. Congratulations. And then Ramona and yeah, Ramona and Scott are talking for a little bit. Let me go back, and there's a little bit of like 2 pages of them at the Sneaky D or some bar. We'll say it's a bar. So they're at a bar. And then Ramona and Scott had their first big fight about Lisa. So then she's like, "You suck, I hate you, you're cheating on me," or whatever. So then he tries to go home, and then Wallace is having intimacy with another man. So then Scott's like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to sleep here tonight." So then he goes over to Lisa's. And then Lisa tries to have intimacy with Scott. But then Scott's like, "That's not going to happen." So I guess he passes out, but he tells Lisa before he passes out that he's in love with Ramona. So then he goes over to Ramona's house, and he gets his job back, because when he went to go talk to Ramona and Roxanne the first time, he got fired. So he gets his job back. And then he goes and sees Knives at the second cup. And then we find out that Knives' dad is trying to kill Scott. And he goes into a subspace highway again, and he sees Ramona tied up by what I'm assuming is Gideon, because I haven't finished the story, but I've seen the movie, so I'm assuming that's Gideon. And then Ramona's like, "Dude, get out of here. This is not your head. This is my head. That's weird." So then Ramona and Scott, because he pops up out of the subspace highway, and they see each other, and they're in the real space highway. The real space highway. And then Ramona's like, "I'm sorry, I was sort of a jerk." And Scott's like, "Yo, it's cool. This guy's trying to kill me, though, so I'm gonna, like, run away." So he runs off. Actually, we figure out that Ramona had Roxanne over. So he runs away, and he bumps into Nega Scott for the first time. But then he runs back, and he fights, or he runs back to Ramona's house, and he sort of chickens out of fighting Knives' dad. But then Roxanne and Knives' dad fight. But then Scott tells Ramona that he loves her. and he gains the heart like in the sword like in the movie. And then Knives' dad is just like, I'm just gonna stand here for a little bit. So then, Scott kills Roxanne. And then Knives' dad's like, okay, you're a cool dude, I guess I won't try to kill you. So he goes away, and then Scott and Ramona are like, you're cool, I like you because we're dating each other, whatever. So then they make out, and then Scott moves in with Ramona. And then Knives' dad's like, as far as I'm concerned, Scott Pilgrim is a halfway decent young man. Maybe you dating a white guy wouldn't be so bad. And then they sort of go back with their recording session, and they end up at a bar, and they sort of, it's like a goodbye token to Lisa. They're all like drinking and having food. And yeah, it's like a send off to Lisa. And Ramona's hair is now orange, so that's fancy. So then it's the end of the night or whatever, and then Scott and Ramona are having a little bit of a hangout session on a bench. And we find out that Ramona is 24 and her birthday is on January 1st. And then it's just like little romantic bits, and then next it's the twins, and there's a little bit of a comic with Scott being Scott, it's just a comic of them of Sex Bomb after a show, and they're like, what are we gonna do with all this money? And Scott's like, so let's spend it on cheese. Sort of what happens. So yeah, there's a 21-minute video. Hopefully I didn't waste your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, then let me know why. Thanks for watching. If you want me to review anything else, just tell me what it is in the comments, and I'll hopefully get to it someday in my life. I don't know when, but I will. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys maybe like Friday when I watch Riverdale. Leave a comment about what you thought of the video. Whatever, do whatever you want. Thanks for watching. Peace. See you guys next time.